And in terms of sales, like honestly, man, it's no art. It's like really just understanding how human beings work. I could give you like a rough framework or an idea if you want, right? So the way we like to get started with any kind of call, the first thing is like we like to build some rapport, like how we did when you and I were talking. Hey, how are you? Where are you from? How was the event? Whatever, right? Once you're done with that, some basic 1 to 2 minutes of that. The second thing that a lot of people do not do is take the frame, right? So what a lot of business owners do is they get into the call and straight away they're like, so what's happening, you know, and like they just like a very casual, and then the prospect is like,
so आप बताइए आप मेरे लिए क्या कर सकते हैं, आपकी सर्विसेज क्या इंक्लूड करती हैं,
and then you are like, then no, I can do this SEO blah blah blah, and then the person is like, चलो सोच के बताता हूँ, and then the sale is gone, right? This is not how it should work. What you need to do is you need to, if especially somebody is coming to you need to take the frame and you need to say that, hey, look, first name, while I respect ki, you know, whatever you have your opinions and everything, the way this call is going to work is I'm going to ask you some questions so that I can get a better understanding of your own business, and then I will be able to give you the solutions, right? So kind of picture it like this. When you go to a doctor, right, the doctor doesn't like simply, here's the medicine, and you're like, I have not even told you my problem. He asks you questions, right? So you have to set the frame, right, that I will be asking you these questions. Once the rapport is built, once the frame is set, the next thing you do is you get into something called as discovery, which means understanding more about their problems, right? So you have to get clear. The biggest like thing that a lot of people do is they are like too quick to get into solutions, right? But when you get too quickly into solutions, right, you kind of end up making like the mistake that NASA did, where you know, NASA was like trying to figure out how to actually write on space, right? But they couldn't like figure out a solution, and they created like this $1 million pen exclusively just to write something, and then something like that, and then Russia was like, yeah, we just use a pencil or something like that.
Right,
so point is that, you know, understand more about their problem and understand, hey, so what prompted you to actually get on this call? What's the biggest problem you have? Tell me more about your metrics. For example, if somebody needs help with YouTube, right? So I would like go on to ask them, you know, if somebody tells you like my YouTube channel is not working, why specifically is it not working, right? Can you share your last 30-day stats, right? What are your metrics? How many views did you get? What was your CTR? What was your impression, or what thumbs did you use? Yeah, right? So once you have gotten that data, then you kind of like try to understand, what have you tried in order to grow your YouTube channel in the past? Did you try taking some 500 rupee course? Did you try to actually hire an expert, right? Because so that you can understand the background of that individual, right? If somebody comes to you and you're like, they are like, Ishan, I took a 500 rupee course and my YouTube channel is not growing, you'd be like, yeah, no shit. So yeah, so you have to understand that stuff as well, and like get like a proper understanding or 10,000 foot overview of their whole problem. Once you have done that, the next thing you do is you understand their goals and their actual motivation behind it, right? What a lot of business owners do is they just like, oh, so what's your goal? All right, that's your monetary goal. Okay, great, let's move on. But the fact is, you must understand why exactly are they like even trying to achieve that goal. So for example, when somebody comes to you to grow their YouTube channel, like, you know, you must like try to understand, why do you want to grow your YouTube channel in the first place? What will so if somebody says like, Ishan, I need 100k subscribers. Why do you need 100k subscribers? What's going to happen to your life when you actually get those 100k subscribers? Some people are motivated by fame. Some people are motivated by a monetary aspects, right? So it really depends upon that. So you have to understand both their island number 1 and island number 2 situation very, very clearly. And once you have done that, man, you basically get a commitment check from them that, hey, if I could actually get this thing, what are you willing to commit in terms of like efforts, time and money? Because you have to actually get that commitment from them. I also like to do few more checks as well. For example, I would ask them, is your partner on board with this? What do they think? Because I don't want to hear an objection later. I'll talk to my partner and let you know. How much budget have you set aside for this, and etc. So once all that is clear, once I have their commitment, then I go and pitch my solution, which is also it's not necessarily like me just saying like features. It's literally me breaking down and showing, remember Rohan, earlier you told me that your CTR was suffering by this much. It was just 0.5%. Well, in first part of our service, what we are going to do is help you get your CTR to 1 to 2% or at least 5%, so that you can get this benefit, right? So explain them in that way, And then after that, when they are like, all right, this works, then you basically do something called as a temperature check, which is like on a scale of 1 to 10, how do you feel about whatever I explained to you? Usually what most people are like, so my price is this, right? Straight away. Don't just go into that. Understand, right? Like, कि भाई समझ भी आया कि जो मैंने बोला कैसा लगा, is it even good? On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate it? And if they rate, let's say 7, you have to ask why 7. If they say 6, why 6? If they say 9 as well, why 9? What about it did you like the most, right? And then once they actually tell you that, then you reveal the price, and then comes the objection handling, which is basically comes down to 4 buckets, man. If they're going to give you an objection, it's either going to be they don't trust you, they don't trust themselves, they have a partner problem, or they don't have the money. And then you basically figure out which one it is amongst these things, and you try to like handle their objections based on that.
That's very insightful. I want people to go back to the 5 minutes and just listen to the whole thing and make notes about this.
Sweet, man.